we can start with our first guest. Kate, please welcome on stage.
Hello. First of all, this is my first public speech in English. So sorry for that. Sorry. And I will use my hints, and I'm not ashamed. Maybe a little, but no. Let's start. The topic of my speech today is game design documentation, what we know about it, and how we do it. Who I am? My name is Kate Nagornaya. For now, I'm game producer in RnD department at Belka Games. Before I was game analyst, I have had a lot of experience with different games, like with kids games, with a lot of casual and match 3 games, with tycoons and other games. And what we will talk about today. Oh, sorry. It doesn't work. Excuse me. I didn't mention. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. What we will talk about today. A little bit of presentation about our company and R&D department, and some more things about processes in R&D department. They are important for the other part of speech. Importance of docs. I will tell about some types of product documentation we have in R&D, which tools we use, and how we do GDD, game design documentation. Some practical tips. And a little more about backlog. Yeah, that's it. Let's start. Belka Games is the best game dev team ever. I believe so. You believe me. It was started in 2010 and is growing and doing great work. We have big office here in Vilnius, so check please our website, check career part, and you know what to do. We have 3 main games right now. It's Clockmaker. It's turned 10 years. All this year, 10 years. And it's still a very satisfying and captivating game, really. Solitaire Cruise, nice card game about luxury world travel on a cruise liner. I hope one day I will play Solitaire Cruise on cruise liner too, I hope. Yeah, highly recommended. And Bermuda Adventures, it's colorful, family-oriented game about tropical islands and family reunion. Very suitable for current days because it is a lot of sunlight in there and outside no. Please try it. And R&D. What are we? It's a small team inside Belka. I'm a part of this team. And we are about ideas and research. We are trying to do something new, something fresh. So we are on our way to making new hits. Stay tuned. By the way, Solitaire Cruise and Bermuda Adventures, they are from R&D. We are doing a lot of research, like in the lab. So we have a lot of ideas. To confirm if idea is okay for real game, we do very quick development with small iterations and very significant changes. And it's very important for us to be able to make quick and quality decisions. A little bit more about R&D, sorry, but I need to tell you some about processes we use. This will clarify why we need good quality documentation. So here we have 2 parts of processes, pre-production and production. At the pre-production stage, we discuss a lot of our own ideas and do a lot of research. Sometimes idea comes up first, and after that we do a research of this idea. Sometimes we do research and idea comes up. Yeah, really, it's simple. And after that we mix idea with research and we have concept. How do we do research? During research, we need to answer some questions. First of all, what is the audience? Which games are they playing? What metrics do these games have or had before? What's the size of the market? Which countries, and so on. And to answer to these questions, we're using some tools. Data IE and Sensor Tower, they are about audience, the interests, size market, countries, and main metrics. Playliner, they do some deconstructions for us too. They are doing some deconstructions for us. That's it. Yeah. And we are using a lot of reports from Apple, Google, and other analytical reports. They're about trends and anti-trends. We need to understand it. And our main tool, the phone, we actually playing a lot. Like during working times, we playing a lot. Yeah. After the pre-production stage, we have a concept. When the concept is approved, we go to the production. So, idea, it is a concept, and we are doing development. First part, we have 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4 months to do first prototype with main game loop, core plus meta. This prototype contains some basic features, tutorials if needed, and that's it. We are ready to show our prototype to players. From this moment, we describe the whole process as a tech launches. During the first tech launch, we paid attention to first-time user experience, checking starter metrics, and do a lot of conversions and funnels. During tech launch, we have small iterations with significant changes. Sorry. We have small iterations, but like each 2-3 weeks, we do a new version, new tech launch. For new versions, we prepare more content, mostly for retention, and more features for engagement, retention, and monetization. After 3 or more versions, tech launches, it's time to think about the future of our idea. If retention is okay, we are doing some more features to check the monetization. If retention and monetization are okay, it's nice. We are ready to move our idea out of RnD to the soft launch. If something goes badly, maybe something wrong with something not okay with retention, something not okay with monetization, we are, as a team, we are okay with the decision of freeze the project. It's okay for us. Yeah, just a sec. As you can see, in RnD, we do not have a lot of time and a lot of chances to do our best. We have only 2-4 months to make our prototype that will grip players. So, as game of future starts as an idea and after that becomes a document, we believe that a full description of the idea in the document is a must-have. So all ideas must be put it on a paper. Why? Because every team member, it's shaking, I don't know why. Every team member needs to be on the same page. It's very easy to collect feedback from the whole team in one place, in one document. And for the new team members, it's an easy way to understand what this is idea about. When we have full description of idea in one place, one document, it's easy to get fast, high quality results from all part of development. And to do all the processes of creating a doc, we made templates, and the process goes faster and easier. So how we come up with templates? Actually, from mistakes. There were a lot of situations where poorly prepared docs were a problem. We had problems in processes, a lot of poorly done tasks, a lot of deadlines missed. Also, we had 2 game designers. They're really nice and good professionals, but they were prepared the docs very different. One of them included parts about art, and one of them missed those out from document, for example. So after the docs were ready, there were a lot of questions from our team about what they need to do. We made all those mistakes several times over and finally decided to make template for general game design documentation. So, which types of documentation we have? As I said before, we have idea. It's a small document, 1-2 pages with a general description of idea, with some screenshots, some references. That's it. Research, it's a doc with a lot of screenshots from different analytical services and reports, and with some comments and conclusions on these screenshots. And concept is a doc with a description of the idea, research, and some other comments. A game design document, a full description of the future. Balance, it's all about currencies, resources, and calculations, nothing special. Synopsis is narrative document. Yes, Polina? Yeah, thanks. This is now our narrative designer here. Analytical events, it's all about analytical events, nothing special here too. And backlog, an important part of documentation where a lot of new ideas are located in short form. And which tools we use for all this documentation. Not many of them. For general text and other formats of docs, we are using Confluence. It's our main base of all the documents in our company. Google Docs for some small docs, like ideas, researches, and Google Sheets for balance, for analytical events, where we need tables and calculations. For UI part and the mockups, we use Figma. And for art and some diagrams, schemes, mood boards, references, and some other things, we're using Miro and Pinterest. As you can see, all these tools are well known, simple, and easy available. I hope so. Yeah, some words about Pinterest. It's not a mistake that I put it here, because you can find a lot of screenshots from different games here. Just try searching, really. And it's easy to make some boards with references and mood boards here. So try it. Here the table about who and where and what do in our GDD. As you can see, not only game designer is responsible for GDD. Here, almost all of the team members involved, and also game designer do some tips for colleagues in different parts of GDD. And little bit about process, how we do it. So first of all, we brainstorm. All our product team come together and we discuss the feature. After that, game designer does main part, some tips in other parts of GDD for other team members, and game balance. After that, game designer collects feedback. we are using comments in doc or maybe in task. Here in the comments, team members ask their questions, suggest ideas, and so on. Once feedback has been proceeded, narrative designer, artist, analyst, developer, other team members, they can start working on their parts. And after that, we have the final part of feedback from all team members. So here is if everything is okay, if there are no more questions for the GDD, the doc is done. If anyone has some question, the GDD goes for reworking. Yeah, just a sec, please. Yeah. Here are some, I hope, useful tips about documentation. First of all, create a glossary. To be sure that all team members are on the same page regarding terms. It's really help, really. Yeah, use glossary, please. Use links, link everything to everything. For the readers, it will be much easier to understand a feature better if they can read all the documents related to the feature. Use links, please, too. Yeah. And everything about the feature needs to be in the document. If there are some questions about the feature, then your doc is not ready. Make your own template and follow it. If it will save you and your team a lot of time. Yeah. And some words about backlog. For RnD, it's very important because we all the time need a lot of ideas, and here in backlog we have a lot of ideas. These ideas for the product, not for new games. It is about our product right now. So each team member has his own backlog with a short description of the idea, plus some screenshots and references. And the producer, as a product owner, has the main backlog. And what makes a good backlog for me? For the backlog, I choose a short form of ERM matrix. What is it? If you don't know, it's a matrix with features and some marks of what these feature affects. Engagement, retention, or monetization, or all of them. A part, it's about acquisition, and I missed it because it's not so important in RnD. But it can be important for your team. And here, some example. Here we have feature, some description. I try to do it like I always did. And some marks on which part this feature affects. I'm using this form, and it's very easy to find the right idea at the right moment in the backlog. So I think that's it. And here we go with conclusions. The whole team must be on the same page, and here I think well-prepared docs are a big help. For a small team and quick iterations, and not only for a small team and quick iterations, good docs are very important. When you have 2-3 months to complete the prototype, there is no time to make mistakes. Do your best, describe all the sides of the feature that you want to make, and make your own templates. They will help someday. And the final conclusion, it's about make games. They're fun, not war. Thank you. Thank you. Here's my email and something from Facebook. If you want to write me, text me with some questions, you can use them. And maybe you have some questions right now.
Yeah, please please don't hesitate. I'll give a microphone.
Hello, thank you for your presentation. It was really interesting. I wanted to ask about soft launch. What countries and what kind of metrics or how do you describe how to pick the soft launch for you, for your games?
All my presentation was about tech launch. In RnD, we're doing tech launch. Soft launch is the next step for the development. For tech launch, we're using tier 3 countries, like all use, like India, Philippines. Sorry, yeah. Sometimes Brazil, and we're expecting them. Metrics not like we want to see them in US. We understand that some metrics for some games will be less in these countries. Yeah, and we are trying to reach retention metrics in these countries, because when we are going to stage with monetization metric, we are going to real tier 1 countries.
So is it the only metric, retention?
Sorry?
Is it the only metric that you are trying to reach? The only metric?
Not only, for KPI, we are choosing retention first, third, 7th, 30 days, because we are doing some iterations. After, and for KPI, we are using retention. For understanding what is game about, we are using all metrics like funnels, like conversions, and they are for each game they are different.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Thank you. So before you go and do the prototype, you have a very concise game design document, right?
Before the prototype, we actually we have only like concept with idea and research, and that's it. Okay. After that, we are going to do some more docs. They are very they have full description about features, like we have lives in our game. We have GDD for lives. If we have, I don't know, daily bonus, we have GDD for daily bonus. And in this doc, we have full description of this feature.
So if I understand correctly, when you do the tech launch, do you have the GDD ready before that, or GDD comes after the metrics?
No, GDD goes first, because without this full description, we cannot do.
Okay, so you said that the GDD document goes through all the departments, you know, through all the like analysts and narrative designer.
Yeah.
But then, if the tech launch fails, you can freeze the project.
Yes.
So how do you go back? Do you do like feedback sessions, and you go through the like whole design document and trying to find out what didn't work? Because everyone agreed that it works.
Yeah. We have how to. Sorry, I forgot. When you discuss what you did before, and it's failed. Yeah,
a retrospective.
Thank you. Okay. We have a retrospective session, and during this retrospective session, we discussing what goes wrong and what we can do for the next ideas, next games. It's not about documentation, but sometimes it's about documentation. When someone comes and tells that this documentation was bad prepared, and because of it we failed, something like that. But documentation goes first, and I think if idea is not okay, there will be fail.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, I have a question.
Hello.
Thank you for the talk. It was very interesting. So my question would be: you said that when the idea is going to the stage of freeze, sometimes it might the idea would work in the different audience, right? So do you often reconsider the idea to try again? Like, okay, this idea didn't work in the specific audience, but this might work in the other audience.
All these parts we are trying to do during our development, but sometimes we do these things like we call it zombie. We take in these freeze projects and doing one more tech launch after I think 1 year, maybe more time, and we are checking metrics. We check metrics and on different audiences. Like we trying to switch countries, switch languages sometimes. But if idea was not okay there, there was no no chances. But it's okay. No one will survive this. Sorry.
If it doesn't work, it stays dead in the.
Yeah. But we are using a lot of art that we did for this project in other projects. It's okay for us. So yeah.
Yes, we have time for like 1 or 2 more.
Hello, thank you for your presentation. I have a question about money. How many you spend on R&D?
I don't know. Actually,
Sad.
sorry, but I
Very,
really don't know.
very good question and very good answer. Another short one.
Thank you for the presentation. And you already mentioned a little bit about the art, but I was wondering how much do you reuse other things?
We are using all of them, like documents also. So
Yeah, and what about the technical part? Do you have some kind of base where you put the other features on, or do you start from scratch?
now we are using all parts of our development, like art, documentation, some developing tools, because we need to be quick, very quick. So yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Kate.
Thank you.